Good morning, guys. How are you? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the live stream. We are streaming on LinkedIn and on Facebook. So come on in. Welcome to Thoughts of a Maven. I am here every single Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern to give you all of the tips, the strategies to help you make your brilliance visible. Okay, so if you're here for the first time, welcome. I know I have quite a few connections and followers on LinkedIn. We talk about all the things around visibility, personal branding, positioning, and I like to talk about LinkedIn. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Hope you guys had an amazing Thanksgiving holiday. For those who celebrate, for those who traveled, welcome back. I hope that it wasn't too much of a pain. I know Thanksgiving travel can be a challenge for many of us, but come on in. Listen, like I said, I have a lot of new connections on LinkedIn. And I actually put up a post recently about, some new connections just pitching to me right away. And pitching doesn't necessarily mean selling. It's also like, hey, sign up for this, check out this community, right? And I had to say something because I would not be doing my due diligence if I didn't. So today we're going to talk about like, listen, we just met. Why are you pitching me? Right? Let's have a real conversation about authentic networking on LinkedIn. Last week we talked about, the value of networking in person, right? What are some pros and cons? Actually, I don't think there are any cons to networking in person, but we're going to talk specifically about like how does that show up on LinkedIn, right? Because guys, not one, not two, but I mean, this was actually a couple of weeks ago, but by now it's been a handful of brand new connections who slid into my LinkedIn messages recently and immediately tried to pitch me their offer. Now, in true Dion fashion, I responded with like, "Hey, thanks for sending this. Like, I'm going to pass for now, but here's why. Because I'm interested in learning more about you before I just sign up, give you my information, that whole thing." And a few people were pretty appreciative of it. And I think that a like seeing things as a learning opportunity is lost on a lot of people. Like some people would have like blocked them, deleted them, and I'm like, no, I this is what I teach, and I have to live the thing that I teach. But there is definitely a way to build authentic connections on LinkedIn. Me personally, when someone sends me a connection request, I'm very curious. I always tell people to lead with curiosity when you're having a conversation with people. It's like I'm always interested, like, well, what made you want to follow me, want to send me a connection request? I want to learn more about the person, right? And yeah, for these few people, they didn't say like, "How are you? What do you do?" It was just like, "Hey, sign up for my newsletter. Hey, listen to my podcast," right? And I'm like, "No, sir, no, ma'am. This is right." And I'm not dragging anybody, right? We're all here to grow. We all want to be seen. We all want to expand our reach and our network, but there's a difference between networking and ambushing. And too many people in this day of digital networking, social media are skipping the part that actually matter. So we're going to talk about that today, okay? And guys, if you're just joining for the first time, welcome. Use hashtag newbie down below in the comments with your question. If you are watching the replay, use hashtag replay with your question or your comment as well. But we're talking about networking on LinkedIn and how to do it in a very authentic way without trying to sell to someone right away. I like to compare networking to dating, right? Like you don't just ask someone to marry you on the first date. Maybe some of you have, maybe that's been some people's experience, but by and large, you want to get to know the person. Like, how do you know if that person is for you? If that's someone that you want in your sphere of influence, if you haven't taken the time to get to know them? Like, we just met 5 seconds ago. So, what are we doing? Right. And so it is the curiosity, the authenticity, the human connection that is oftentimes missing. And so if you want people to trust you, to refer you, to buy from you, to collaborate with you, to pay you, you have to show up like a person, right? And LinkedIn at the end of the day is a professional platform. And I get that when people hear professional platform, we feel like we have to send our representative, but it's still a community, right? And communities flourish on connection and not cold pitches. So I have been doing LinkedIn coaching, consulting, geez Louise, for easily over 10 years, right? If not longer. And after years of helping high achieving women position their expertise online, here is what I wish more people understood about relationship building, specifically on LinkedIn. Okay. Yeah, let's get right into it. So, the first thing you have to understand is that a simple hello, a simple hello, somebody. My grandmother used to say, even a dog gets a good morning. It's common courtesy. It's no different than walking into a physical space. You walk into a room in person or virtual, say hello, right? You don't need a 12-step DM script or a funnel to talk to another human being. Right? Be courteous, start with curiosity, ask a question, learn something from them, right? Create a real moment of connection because that ultimately is what people remember. Number 2, your LinkedIn profile has to do or can depending on who. I don't know anyone who doesn't want it to do the heavy lifting for them, but it should do the heavy lifting for you. When you have a strong LinkedIn profile, you it is going to clarify your value. It is going to build so much intrigue if done the right way that you won't have to say a word because your messaging is clear. Your messaging is aligned, right? You don't have to chase, you don't have to pitch to strangers, you don't have to force conversations because people come to you. I think about that movie. What was the movie with Denzel Washington? Was it American Gangster? Right? Where the guy said, like, the loudest one in the room isn't always the strongest one in the room. You There's a way to position your brand and your online presence in a way that just attracts the right people. Okay. Number 3 is that people will always remember how you made them feel. And at the end of the day, first impressions still matter, even in the DMs. Okay. So if your very first interaction with me communicates, Dion, I only care about what I can get from you, that's going to be your brand, period. And that's how I'm going to see you. And that is going to repel me. And I'm going to remove you as a connection, right? Leave people feeling seen, not used. Um, LinkedIn, like any other platform, like at the end of the day, it's a social media site. And I actually had a conversation with someone recently about how authenticity that is the magnet, right? We don't have to show up polished and ready to pitch and in a perfect kind of way because in the day of social media, even if it's on a site like LinkedIn, people can sense when you are not being genuine, when you're not being human. So again, this is about making a connection with people that leaves them with not a bad taste in their mouths, right? Okay, guys, good morning. Welcome to the live stream. We are talking about networking on LinkedIn and what I wish more folks understood about genuine relationship building on this platform. So, yes, one, a simple hello still works. Two, your profile should do the heavy lifting for you. And then three, people always remember how you made them feel. Number four, real relationships still matter, right? Even with AI, even with algorithms shifting every 10 minutes, right? Which, by the way, the LinkedIn algorithm, I mean, as far as algorithms go, it's not as wonky and flaky as other sites. And maybe I'll come live next week to talk about that, right? Relationships are still what drive referrals and partnerships and opportunities and visibility, right? And so connections, real connections, beat gimmicks every single time. I don't care about whatever visibility hacks you got. Like people connect with people at the end of the day. And number 5 is that you don't have to be everywhere. You just have to be present. And I get the kind of lurking mentality that a lot of people have when it comes to LinkedIn because it can feel loud, sometimes crowded and chaotic, but you don't have to do the most. LinkedIn is not the platform where you have to do the most to be seen, right? You just have to be consistent because consistency builds familiarity. Familiarity builds trust, and trust is what creates the opportunity. So when you show up in a meaningful way, even if you're not posting every day, you are going to stand out to the connections you're making because most people aren't even doing that, right? Like a very interesting statistic that I always share is that 1%, little less than 1% of LinkedIn users publish actual content on a regular basis. And I don't mean resharing, but like or reposting, posting original content, right? Most people aren't doing that. So guys, you don't have to, you know, come in hot in my DMs or in anyone's DMs on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not that type of space. Okay, guys, if you're just joining us, welcome. Good morning. We are talking about LinkedIn networking specifically. And what does this mean? What does it mean to network in a very intentional, genuine, authentic way on LinkedIn? And so we just covered 5 things that I wish more people knew. And honestly, the bottom line is that you don't have to play the, mass pitch to strangers game in order to grow on LinkedIn. You just don't, right? Your presence, your voice, and your messaging can do the work for you when you lead with integrity and intention. So it is the curiosity. Be curious about your connections. That is what's going to build that relationship. And those relationships build trust. And then once someone trusts you, they will pay you, refer you, want to partner with you. But none of that happens when you treat people like leads on a spreadsheet. It felt so transactional and just overwhelming to have people, and I've been doing this for, geez, several years, and it still makes me cringe, right? Because I'm about making real conversations, right? Instead of making people run from me on LinkedIn, right? And if you're doing this, if you're ambushing people on LinkedIn, it might be time to rethink how you're showing up there. Okay. So I invite you to join me in actually just a few days. I'm hosting my free LinkedIn masterclass. It's how to turn your LinkedIn profile into a lead magnet. I'm going to show you how to position your LinkedIn profile so people will want to engage with you, right? I'm going to break this down and show you how to really just overhaul your profile into an authentic opportunity lead magnet. So going over to that link there, linkedinleadmagnet.com. This session is for you if you're ready to stop lurking. If you're tired of watching less qualified people land jobs, business clients, or the recognition you deserve, if maybe you've updated your profile 1,000 times without seeing results, and if you're really ready to take your presence seriously, this is the session for you because right now careers and businesses are feeling the pressure, right? We've experienced layoffs, shutdowns, right? Economic shifts, and that can make I feel it's making visibility more important than ever. Because if your LinkedIn profile is silent, scattered, or just there and you're solely focusing on the DMs, opportunities are going to pass you by. So, what you're going to learn is how to take your profile from a placeholder or just some sort of digital resume into an actual lead magnet, how to confidently communicate your value in a way that is clear and not cringy. I'm also going to cover the most commonly overlooked LinkedIn profile features that most people ignore. Okay, this is a no fluff Zoom session. We're going to be doing this in real time. Now, usually for these sessions, there is a replay. There's no replay. So I want you to come ready to, take down some actionable strategies. There will be some live hot seat coaching at the end. So if you want to, come off mute, ask your question, you will get my feedback in real time. Because guys, your LinkedIn profile really can be your most powerful possession, right? Your most powerful asset. And we have to make sure that it's working for you. Okay. So if what you've been doing, sliding in people DMs or just lurking on LinkedIn, if that's not working, this is the room you need to be in. Stop waiting to be discovered and rather just be proactive and command the space that you were made for. Okay, so make sure you, again, go to LinkedInLeadMagnet.com to get the Zoom info sent over to you. But please understand there is a whole community of people that is waiting for you, for your brilliance, for your talents, for your gifts, but they can't get what you have to offer until you step into your next level. Okay, I hope to see you in this masterclass, and I will see you next Wednesday. Take care.